I'm sure you've noticed how difficult it is to create a new habit. But you know what is interesting about habits is if you stick with them long enough, then they become automatic. But of course, that is the challenge in itself. So in this episode, we're talking about how to make habits stick to the point that they become automatic. Hi, and welcome back to Up It and another episode of the Actionables podcast. My name is Peyton. If you're a returning viewer or a listener, thank you so much for tuning back in. If you're new here, welcome. This channel is all about mindset coaching tips. So if you want to pursue your goals, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon. That way you can get notified every time we bring content, which is every week. And with that, let's get into this episode. Depending on which habit you want to create for yourself, it can feel overwhelming. But like we know that all change is possible, even though it may seem difficult. And the way we know that is either because personally in our own lives, at some point we have overcome something extremely difficult, or we have enough examples around us where people have overcome challenges and made changes in their life. So making changes is possible. In the past, we have spoken about mindset habits that can help you move toward your goals. Check out that video. I will link it in the description box below. Before we talk about how to make habits stick, let's take a look at how habits are formed. According to Charles Duhigg, the author of The Power of Habit, this is how habits are formed. In his book, he explains something called as the habit loop, which is made up of three components: the routine, the reward, and the cue. In order to change any habit, it is essential to look at this habit loop. For the sake of explanation, let's take the example of potato chips. Let's say you like to eat potato chips every single day. Now, in order to break this habit, which is obviously unhealthy for you, let's diagnose the habit loop. So step one would be to look at the routine. What causes you to take this action of eating potato chips every single day? Is it perhaps a certain time of the day that you reach out unconsciously even to the bag of chips? Maybe you have finished working, you turn on TV and you start Netflixing and you reach for this potato chips without you even realizing it because it has become a routine. So step one is to figure out what do you do on a regular basis. Step number two is the reward. Now, it is not just the act of eating the potato chips in itself, but it is about the feeling that you get after you eat the pack of potato chips. Perhaps you just get a feeling of like you're relaxed, you feel like you are unwinding, and even though it may feel that way and even though it is unhealthy, but that is a reward for you. It may be a negative one, but yet it is a reward. You have to identify what is the feeling that you're really after by performing the routine that was step one. Do you eat the chips because you're really hungry, or it has become a routine that you eat the chips? So in which case, instead of eating chips, you could eat an apple perhaps. And the third thing is identify the cue. Here are 5 categories that can help you identify what is it that you do which triggers you to take the routine behavior. First one is location. Is there a particular place that triggers you to take this routine action? Second is time. What time of the day causes you to take this action again? Is it perhaps when you get off work and you turn on TV to Netflix? Third is check your emotional state. What emotional state are you at when you give yourself this cue that it is time to do a certain behavior? Fourth is, are there other people who influence you and cause you to give you this trigger that it is time to do a certain activity? And the fifth one is immediately preceding action. Like, what is it that you do after which you give yourself a clue that it is time to do this routine action? So how can you diagnose your habit loop? How do you identify your cue, your reward, and your routine? Go ahead and write down 5 things every time you get this craving to eat potato chips. You will soon be able to see a pattern as to what cue that you're giving yourself in order to get the craving satisfied. Once you see the pattern, you will know what's triggering you, what's the reward that you're craving that makes you do the activity, that is the routine. Here are some of the action steps to help you diagnose your habit loop. Step number 1 is identify the one habit which isn't serving you. Second is diagnose the habit with the habit loop. Third is follow the habit loop exercise. And fourth is to repeat it. So with practice, diagnosing this habit loop gets simpler and you will be able to check for yourself that why you do the things that you do. And with that, let's get into how to make habits stick. This method is called the GTCR method. It is really simple. This is how it works. Start with a very small goal in mind and then give yourself a defined time to achieve this particular goal and to also stay consistent with this goal. So you have a goal for a defined time and you're going to be consistent with it. And the next step is to repeat this till it becomes your new normal. Once you're able to do this goal in this defined time consistently, you need to move and make your goal a little more difficult than it was before. That's the trick to making your habits stick. It is staying consistent long enough with your goals. It is increasing the level of difficulty in a defined time with consistent action. So it is all about improving your resistance to change. Remember, repetition and consistency is key to changing any habit. So that's a wrap on this episode. Do let me know what you thought about it and leave me a comment below and let me know what do you do to make your habits stick. I would love to know your thoughts. Till next time, remember that your goals matter and it's really up to you to make it happen. I will see you in the next one.